Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon everyone. Integrating the teaching and learning entrepreneurial intangible skills through HAPS profiling. That is the title of our paper today. Before I proceed, let me introduce you the authors of this paper. The first author is Suzila Yahaya. This is me, right, as you can see in the picture. The second author is Madam Helvinda Kaur, daughter of Balbir Singh. The third author is Mr. Santanadin, right, son of Rajendram. And the fourth author is Mr. Zulkarnain bin Hashim. Now, to begin with, let's see the beginning of entrepreneurship. How actually it began. Entrepreneurship education in Malaysia was initiated, right, or initially introduced by University Technology Mara (UiTM) in 1982, right, as an effort to create awareness of entrepreneurial opportunities among its students. A further step was taken in 1988, where at that particular time known as ITM, introducing the compulsory entrepreneurship subject known as Fundamental of Entrepreneurship to all their diploma students. Based on this ground, which the government had made entrepreneurship courses compulsory for all public university students in the hope of fostering entrepreneurs among the graduates. And these footsteps was followed by the other private universities, including UniKL. Aligned with this, in UniKL, entrepreneurship course aim to mold its graduates to be excellent both academically as well as to produce enterprising global technopreneurs. Therefore, the appropriate content of teaching and learning entrepreneurship subject is a must to achieve the aim, and usage of the Harrison assessment test could be integrated into the entrepreneurship syllabus. Now, let's see what is actually HATS all about. HAT, which is an acronym for Harrison Assessment Test Profiling, is an online profiling tool that can analyze a variety of personality traits, job and task performance, work environment preference, interests, personal motivations, and behavioral profile of prospective employees. Last time, many employees screening and recruiting their potential employees using Harrison's assessment tests. Furthermore, Harrison assessment reports provide justifications and directions for the employers to plan the employees' careers and team development. In UniKL, HAT has been customized to attain university vision as well as to provide reports to the counselor to plan suitable assistance for the students individually based on their potential areas and limitations. The 10 behavioral competence traits covered in HATS are technology integrations, willingness to learn, adaptability, entrepreneurship, innovations, leadership, communication, global citizen, problem solving, and independence. However, this study was narrowing on the entrepreneurship behavior trait as it will be the platform to polish the students to be enterprising global entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the problem statement of this study. In UniKL, HATS had been customized, as mentioned earlier, HAT had been customized to attain university vision as well as to provide reports to the counselor to plan suitable assistance for the students individually based on their potential areas and limitation based on the 10 behavioral competent traits covered in HATS, and one of it is entrepreneurship. However, there is no further platform to assist the students in their entrepreneurship skills. Also, to the knowledge of the authors, no other study had been done to integrate the traits of HATS into the teaching and learning of entrepreneurship. Therefore, this study hopes to fulfill this gap as mentioned above. Next, what is the significance of this study? So, there are three significance of this study. The first one, as a tool to the counselor to plan suitable assistance for the students individually based on their potential areas and limitations in the area of entrepreneurship. Secondly, as a tool to the educators as to integrate the teaching and learning of entrepreneurships in classes. And thirdly, as a guideline to the students of their interests and potential skills that could be polished accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore, this study aims to integrate perceptions to integrate students' perceptions towards the usefulness of teaching and learning entrepreneurship skills through HATS. Number two, to determine the level of competence of entrepreneurial skills among students through the usage of HATS. And number three, to identify the students' behavior traits indicator towards entrepreneurial intention. Subsequently, this study wishes to answer the following research questions. How to integrate students' perceptions towards the usefulness teaching and learning entrepreneurial skills. Number two, how to determine the level of competence of entrepreneurial skills among students through the usage of HATS. And number three, how to identify student behavior traits towards entrepreneurial intentions. Now let's see some of this previous study done by other researchers in this area of HATS. Okay. As mentioned earlier, initially psychology tests were used to assist in the selection of individuals to match the job requirement as a predictor of performance in a wide variety of contexts such as organizations, industrial, education, and clinical settings. This is as mentioned by Hunter and Smith, 1998. Later, Hudson Assessment Talent Management System, which is HAT, was developed and used as an instrument with the intent to predict the likely to match the job description with the job specification, and the outcome was very likely accurate. What makes HAT different from other profiling tools is it was combined personality profiling methods and interests, inventory-based measured with assessment on sustainability of candidate based on weight factors such as education, years of experience, and specific skills required to perform the job. And this is as mentioned by Crane, 2013. And based on the study conducted by Nimchi, 2002, Bosma, Vickers, and Amaros, 2012, right? As how students perceive entrepreneurship as a possible career option was likely influenced by their social groups and the academic environment. The opinion was further supported by EU and others, 2019, mentioning factors such as the availability of business opportunities, capability to run a business, level of risk involvement, and the fears of failure in starting and running a business also catalyze the students' actual involvement in their entrepreneurial venture. Another interesting study by Zahara and others, 2010, stated it was found that half the students were having an intention to become entrepreneurs, and the decisions were attributed to the influence of families, members, academic and training courses on entrepreneurship. An individual with ventures and higher levels and variety of sources tend to become more enthusiastic, ambitious, and grows in size when pursuing entrepreneurship, and compared to those with limited resources, as this is as stated by Chandler and Hans, 1994. Therefore, entrepreneurial education, especially those related to technology matters, were found to be crucial in exchange the innovative skills of entrepreneurship, as mentioned by Clark, 1990, and Hardy, 2003. Ladies and gentlemen, for this study, we engaged few instruments. Okay, the first instrument is the entrepreneurial skills were assessed through the usage of Harrison assessment tests in describing the behavioral competence traits among the students in the university. These online tests explore traits that was accelerated entrepreneurial performance related to specific behavior competencies in career planning among the students. Secondly, the entrepreneurial profile questionnaire EPQ was used as an instrument for the study aims at explaining the formulations of intention of entrepreneurship. The sample of questionnaire was adopted from the study of Indari and Krishnan, 2003. The questionnaire consists of two parts. The first part consisted of the demographic profile of the respondents, and the second part consists of questions on entrepreneurial intention, perceived support and barriers, focus of control, need of achievement, and instrumental readiness. A questionnaire survey was carried out to collect data for the study for the academic year of 2020 of UniKL RCMP, particularly those enrolling in MBBS and Bachelor of Pharmacy program. Data was collected over 3 weeks, over email using a random sampling method and analyzed using SPSS. Now, prior to this study, right, pilot study was conducted to ensure the goodness of a convex alpha coefficient. We've computed for each of the major variables in the study the reliability coefficients generated as shown in table 1. As you can see, table 1, all the coefficients indicated values exceeding 0.62, which further strengthens the reliability of the instruments used for the study. As to answer our research question 1, how to integrate students' perceptions towards the usefulness, teaching and learning entrepreneurial skills, right? So the result reveals that some indicators on students' view of the usefulness of university courses towards entrepreneurship career, over more than half, which is 74%, agree that university courses were a useful entity as a stepping stone towards entrepreneurship. Okay? And based on the demographic attributed of the respondent, 45% of the respondents were male, with 55% were female. Okay, right. And then the description result also provides some indications of ethnicity. More than half of the respondents were Malay, 18% Chinese, 12% Indians, and the minority 5% derived from the other ethnicities. Over 74% of the students were in the view that the university courses that they took were very probably useful to them. Now move to our research question 2, right? How to determine the level of competence of entrepreneurial skills among students through the usage of hacks, right? So as you can see in table 3, right, presents descriptive statistic of entrepreneurship competence. Okay, the result indicate the majority of the respondents were probable competence to pursue entrepreneurship intention, which is 47.9%. 42.1% were possible competence, and only a handful of 10% were still probable like competence. The majority of the students have an intention to be an entrepreneur in the future. Of these, 47.9% have probable competence and 42.1% have possible competence in their quest to be an entrepreneur. This was quite encouraging, as this shows that introducing entrepreneurial studies to them in the universities was the right one in guiding them to be an entrepreneur in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, move to our research question 3, how to identify students' behavior traits toward entrepreneurial intentions. Right, so the result were 5 behavior traits that have been identified in this study among the students. The first one is a perceived support and barriers. Okay, as shown in table 4, means and standard deviations value for construct variables. The means value for perceived support and various construct was significantly different for all questions. The large difference in perceptions was related to the university atmospheres and family support. This suggests that 2 indicators was important factors for those keen on becoming self-employed. Next trait is locus of control, right? The locus of control construct was for those who intend to become self-employed and perceive that they have more control over events and action. There were considerable differences between values for all respondents. Okay. On the locus controls aspect, most of them feel that to be a successful entrepreneur, diligence and hard work was important. Okay, this is true. As to be successful entrepreneur, one has to be focused and put in a lot of hard work and long hours to build and solid foundations of their business. They also feel that innovations and searching and creative opportunities were important factors in becoming successful entrepreneurs. Ladies and gentlemen, for next indicator, right, or traits, which is needs for achievement. Okay, the result reveals that most of them feel that they have the mental maturity and leadership skills to become entrepreneurs. Overall, most of them also prefer to be entrepreneurs as compared to be employed. This idea was very appealing to most of the respondents. Okay. Klinder's 1961 theory suggests that individuals that have high need of achievement are more likely to seek out an entrepreneurial job rather than other roles. In fact, this study shows majority of the students had a higher need for achievement in building a solid mental maturity to embark in entrepreneurship. Next traits is entrepreneur intention. Entrepreneur intention, as a result, would see therefore for those who intend to become self-employed add considerable more value to the statement. It would seem therefore that this statement was good indicator of entrepreneur intention. Okay. So as for further discussion, it has shown that students prefer to be an entrepreneur rather than to be an employee in a company. But 1998 believed that intention is the state of mind which direct intentions and action of persons to be a good entrepreneur. Next trait is instrumental readiness, which is the last part for traits. Yeah? This result indicated that the means most of the students had defined financial access to start their business to be an entrepreneur. Since that they were still studying, the financial access most probably from their family, or they might have been working before pursue their studies. On the instruments readiness, okay, they feel that they are ready to be an entrepreneur because they have access to capital and a good social network that will help them to be a successful entrepreneurs. For the instrument readiness variable, which had significant differences between gender, it was found that the males were more ready compared to the females. This may be due to the past working experience and better social media networks. Ladies and gentlemen, as a conclusion, based on the above discussion, it can be concluded that the extent of entrepreneurs' intentions among the students were average value in venturing the businesses. This study also had identified the niche of achievement in the area of perceived supports and barriers, locus of control, need for achievement, entrepreneurial intention, and instrument readiness among the determinants related to entrepreneurial intentions. If these traits are enhanced, then it is possible to expect more entrepreneurs from the students to venture into business. Okay, recommendations that we would like to suggest. Okay, number one, since entrepreneurship is a relevant instrument to promote new enterprises among the students, the promotional effort should be initiated from the university level through the different training courses and hands-on experiences. Number two, the university should have an integrated mechanism in offering training from the aspect of legal and company creations, business idea realizations, fundraising, startup support center, and incubators. Number three, collaborations can be initiated with some of the public sector's agencies to foster entrepreneurship. Lastly, with more development of entrepreneurship among the intellectual, the university can continue to nurture young talents in new entrepreneurial business to be the forefront motivator for the nation's development. Right, ladies and gentlemen, for references, we have used 31 references, right? But over here, I'm just listed some of the references. So finally, before I end this presentation, I would like, on behalf of the authors here, we wish to express our gratitude to all Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgical, as well as Bachelor of Pharmacy students of University Kuala Lumpur Royal College of Medicine, Perak, for participating in this study. The authors also wish to express their special thanks to UniKL Teaching Alive Symposium or UNITAS committees for their endless guidance and support till the completion of this paper. With that, thank you very much.